Hello, fellow collectors. We're here on Sunday, the last day of Heroes Con, and I'm here with a guy that I've been doing business with, the past 20 years, I think?
Yeah.
Artist extraordinaire, Geoff Isherwood.
Geoff. He got me.
Geoff Isherwood.
Yes.
So,
I've heard it all.
You're Canadian by nature, right?
I'm American by nature, but I'm a dual citizen, so I...
Oh, you married your wife's Canadian?
I moved up there with the family when I was 11 because my father got a job teaching in Montreal.
Oh, okay, that's
McGill University.
So you're basically Canadian, right?
Yeah, 52 years there.
In Montreal. So you had to
grew
learn
up there.
French then, right?
Ben, je parle français, oui, comme les Québécois. Yeah,
Very nice.
You know, that's about
I
it.
took French in school. Yeah, I know what you mean. So when did you start in comics? When did you start drawing and your interest in comics developed?
I was 10. I was 10 years old. I wanted to be an artist, and I was looking at what can I do? And I see comics and I see credits. You know, Stan the Man Lee and Jazzy Johnny Romita and all this. And I said, I want to do that. So I kept studying, and I learned anatomy. I came at it from a figure drawing perspective first. Then I learned about the storytelling and all the rest. And I first stopped by Marvel when I was 16. We were coming home from summer vacation. And my father went in, and we had with the car and the family, they were driving around the block. I went upstairs. Hello, sir, can I help you? Yeah, I went in and brought some artwork. Come with me. So I went in, I met Dave Cockrum and Marie Severin. It was terrific. They were so nice, and they really gave me some good advice. So every year I'd send them some samples. And I was 21.
Do you remember what year that was?
That would have been 1977.
Oh,
when
wow.
I first went in.
Yeah. And how old a man were you? You were a boy.
I was 16 when I first
16,
went.
yeah.
No, I wasn't ready by any stretch.
Right.
But I was 21 when I got my first job. I got a couple of short jobs, and that didn't lead to anything else. That was 82. And in 83...
At Marvel? Or?
Yeah, at Marvel.
Oh,
Then I went back, and I went to both, and I had a family on Long Island, so I stayed at my aunt's house, and I just kept at it, but it didn't take too long. I was working for Rich Buckler at Red Circle for 3 days, and Ralph Macchio called me, Geoff, I got a Daredevil story, can you do that? I said, I'll be right over, So,
That's
and
cool.
I just saw Ralph today. He's here,
Oh,
it's great. We had a great talk.
So the first editor that really hired you was...
It was Ralph Macchio.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. And then, so he got me to do some Power Man and Iron Fist after that. And then just went from there. A couple of Dazzlers. Then all of a sudden, Epic Comics, like Swords of the Swashbucklers. That was a
Somebody
job.
asked me if I had some Swords of the Swashbuckler pages today.
Yeah.
Somebody actually asked me.
Oh, Robert, probably, I think I know who it was.
Big Robert,
Big
guy?
Robert,
Yeah.
Big Robert Berman, yeah, he got a whole lot from me. So then,
okay.
and then after that, I wanted to draw Conan. So I went to our friend Larry Hama, and
He was the group editor, or what do
he
you
was the
call it?
editor of all the Barbarian ones.
Yeah, the group
and
editor, right?
He raked me over the coals. He did. He sat next to Neil Adams for 3 years at Continuity.
Yeah, the
so
Continuity.
he had Neil's shtick down, and he just raked me over the coals. But I just sat there and took it.
And Larry's right down the
Yeah,
aisle,
Larry's
too.
right over there. Yeah. So, no, Larry was a super help. Larry's been Ralph first hired me, but Larry gave me a real tutorial on storytelling. And it's funny, after 5 years of art school, I learned more about drawing in an afternoon with Larry Hama than 5 years of art school.
Wow. So he was a good editor then.
Oh, fantastic!
Yeah.
Because he told you exactly what he wanted, and he said, I want my artists to draw like 98% right the first time, and then we could just print it. I don't want to go nitpicking panel by panel. I'm not micromanaging. He said, we don't have time for that. I just want to hire people who know what they're doing and do the job. And that's kind of what he had,
Well, that's kind of like when I was trying to be, I was an aspiring filmmaker, and I worked with Arthur Penn, the famous Arthur Penn, Bonnie and Clyde, and
of course.
And let's just stop with that. Bonnie and Clyde.
Bonnie and Clyde, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
a pivotal moment. And he told me, I was an AD on a production, and he goes, "Look, kid, 99% of directing is casting. So I mean, you know, Larry Hama's like wants to just cast good artists to do the job.
Yeah, well, you want actors to just do the performance, and you film them in a way you go, because you can't be a puppet master with that. You know,
Yeah.
I've worked in film also for 25 years, and I haven't been on set much. I've done a lot of pre-production art.
Storyboards and
Yeah,
set design. And,
Exactly, all that stuff. But I have been on set enough times, and I know, like, whatever I do, it's kind of background or it's pre-production. But when you turn the camera on, that's when the magic really happens. And you've just got to make sure everybody does their job well, sets it up, and away you go. You know, but you don't mess with the actors. You know,
Yeah.
and I've met a bunch of them.
and micromanaging and over editorializing comic art is, you know, can delay the whole process and muck it up.
It
right?
kills it, because then
Yeah.
every line you draw, you're second guessing yourself. Are they going to like this? Is it good? Is it no good? You can't do
So
that.
let's catch up to the current day. You're back on a Conan book, right?
Savage Sword of Conan, you bet.
That's cool.
I'm drawing
What's the imprint?
Titan.
Titan. Okay, Titan.
I'm doing issues 5 and 6. Two double. You know, it's all their so
double
far.
story.
Yeah, everything they've done is a single issue, but this is a continuing story. So
What copyright has been in more hands than Edgar Rice Burroughs stuff?
yeah, this
I
is,
mean, Robert E. Howard.
Howard, yeah.
misspoke. Yeah, Robert E. Howard. Like, so many different titles have done Conan,
But
but it's cool.
they've got this. These people have the rights to the works, you know.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
and what I think they're doing is they want to try and stick to the Howard feel a lot more,
Okay.
and not just let it wander off into anything. So
Right.
that's kind of the
I had a bonding moment with my father back in the day when he said, here, he gave me $100 because I was wandering around New York City to the comic book stores. He goes, go buy all the Conan ones you can find. They're going to do a movie. And that was, I don't even know what year.
1970.
Yeah, it was a long time ago.
That was before. I only kind of discovered Conan after Barry Smith left the book. It was Buscema, right?
Yeah.
And then I kind of discovered these earlier stories, and like I still have that treasury edition of Red Nails.
Okay.
And I'll go back and read it again. It's like, wow, it's just tremendous, you know. And Barry did all his own coloring too, which was, you know, something extra. But he put so much into that, and he and Wrightson, Kaluta, those guys were who I really discovered when I was young, and that was my gold standard. And that's what I've always like. I got to.
Your biggest influences?
Yeah, I got to approach that level. I also, when I was 18, Buscema came to a convention up in Montreal, and I stood and watched him draw for 2 hours, and how gestural his sketching and all that was. And I still do that to this day. I watched that and I said, that's what to do. And so he had that influence as well. And you know, of course, a lot of other artists, Neil Adams naturally, and many artists here today. I'll go by and say, yeah, I take a little bit from everybody, you know, and that's what we do.
That's so awesome. Well, thank you, Geoff. I really appreciate you taking a few minutes with me and getting to know you better. So, you know, we've
Thanks
known
very
each
much.
other a long time. And
Sorry about my cold. man.
Got a warm heart. Okay. So, I'm Anthony with Anthony's Comic Book Art, here with the artist Geoff Isherwood, and he's still doing it after all these years, right? That's
hey,
cool.
you know, I'm not senile yet.
Yay! Thank you.